We're going to have a quick look at our asparagus bed today and just give it a little bit of a weed and a little bit of attention, and then we won't need to look at this again until the ferns have built up and are ready to cut back. We last looked at our asparagus back at the end of last summer when the ferns were ready to cut back and we fed the bed. Don't forget, we're not looking at actually eating any of these asparagus yet. We do need those crowns to establish before we can start looking at doing that, and they take a few years to do so. If your asparagus hasn't started to appear yet, it's likely that it's to do with the variety, or that where you are in the country, that they take that little bit longer to come through. So don't worry, and you should hopefully see them in the next week or two. Once they have come through and they're starting to get that little bit larger, then we do want to make sure that we offer them some support. And this can just look like a few canes and some string wrapped around and just stopping them breaking in the wind. That's going to help the asparagus have all that energy that the spears produce go back into the ground when they die back. So hopefully you are starting to see asparagus spears appear now in your beds, and they might be really tiny and just coming through, or they might be getting that little bit taller. That will depend on the variety as well as where you are in the UK. And then in the centre here, this is what the patch looks like. These are older, more mature asparagus in the centre that I have been harvesting from. So you can see where they've been cut and there's more coming up. And then down here there are some very tiny little ones coming up as well. Clay, our puppy, has been very kindly breaking the tops off, and I've actually had it covered, and he's just sitting on the net and it's doing exactly the same. So ideally we don't want them broken off because we do want to let them grow. We're not going to be harvesting them yet. And then down here you can see some of the weeds that are starting to come through. So we want to remove these. We don't want the competition in the bed for them. However, because these asparagus crowns lay just below, their roots are very shallow. Ideally, if we can, we're just going to do this by hand. If you can't, then go in very, very gently with a spade and try your best not to disturb them, if at all possible. On a sunny day like this, I'm just going to pick them and leave them on the top, and they'll just die off. They won't cause any further issues. You can also just sort of disturb the top layer of the soil as well, and that should help dislodge any that are just starting to come up. There we go, that's the bed all weeded and ready now to just let them start growing and producing the little ferns that they do. What I have also got is two areas where I haven't actually got any coming up yet. So on these two areas, all I'm going to do is mark these with a stick, a little bit away from where the crown would have originally been planted. And then if these do come up, I'll remove the stick. If they don't, then it's marked it for me to know where I need to plant some more if they don't come up. And then the next time that we will look at these asparagus this year is when the foliage is starting to die back and it's ready to cut down, feed the bed again, ready for it to be tucked up for another winter.